best wrestling podcast in the world. Fact, the road-wearing original Pete, the believing, power of positivity, keeping it Rollins, the Summit. Fact, the homicidal, the genocidal, the ECW loving, daring young creeping, Mr. No Days Off, Scott. Fact, the biscuit and gravy eating, Naomi loving, lunatic craving, the melting pot, JP, and you can bank on that. Fact, the Bailey hugging, the interrupting, the Jaeger drinking, mouth of the Carolinas, Lil Steven. Fact.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
I miss you, Darren Young. Little Steven, Darren Young, in a evening gown match with Pat Patterson. Little Steven gets a little French Canadian in him. Jeff Hardy's going to face Jay Leno in a steel chairs match. People are just jealous because I got skills.
Here's my issue. Is it worse to get beat by one midget or three? Little Steven in a beer drinking contest with Naomi. I have this big issue with people. I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Just kept it Rollins. Jimmy Hart,
Triple H,
X-Pac against Lil Steven in a microphone on a pole match. Anything can happen. Lightweight. If you don't want it, then don't mark it.
We're three-man band. That's horrible. I don't want to make you look bad.
You're fired, sir. When you want to hear me mess up, they're in Radioland. When you want to hear me not mess up, I did not know that. Wow. Wrestling with attitude. When you want your beer, awesome.
Welcome to Wrestling with Attitude. I am your host, The Summit. Joining me today is Lil Steven,
yeah!
the mouth of the Carolinas, or as you better known as the Big O.
Yeah. Or the guy that got 2 creative questions right.
Finally. Before the last segment, we had some questions asked, so let's answer them real fast.
This is a new segment we call Answering.
We do that every show.
Yeah, the big O.
First question we have from Peta. Let me know if
You're
I'm
really bad at these.
I am really bad at pronouncing anything.
Yeah.
Where will wrestling be in 10 years? Will the WWE be around in 10 years? I think was another question he had.
Absolutely.
Where will wrestling be in 10 years?
I think wrestling will evolve into what we see right now.
Robots?
No.
Robot wrestling?
No. I hope that never happens. I hope that movie, Real Steel, never happens. Yeah. Anyways, but no, I think wrestling, basically we're in the evolve stage of like kind of around that 95, 96 era where we don't know what to do, but we still like the wrestlers and we still, like we're changing. So I think we're going to be in that attitude era, in that really cool era in the next 10 years. I think we're going to be finally back down. Do you kids of legend and current stars be in the WWE? That's what I do believe that. I do believe there'll be kids of legends in 10 years.
There's already kids of legends.
No, but it's going to be more. Like there's going to be fourth generation, fifth generation superstars in 10 years. I really believe that. No, I just think it's going to be better than it is now. It's going to be this times 10. It really is.
The thing, and to answer the question like you're saying, I think it's in 10 years it's going to be a great era because I think you will see Seth Rollins. I think you'll see Roman Reigns, guys like that, 10, 11-time champions that have been through it for a while. I think you'll see them better. Maybe Dean Ambrose. I don't know about AJ Styles, because he's getting older. Does HBK get his smile at that time? Yes, he does.
I think he does.
I think he's getting it now because he's making a movie. So he's finding his smile making a movie.
He found it.
But I think the younger Sami Zayn is going to be a champion for a couple times. I think you'll see a lot of these younger guys now step into that John Cena role.
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's where you pass the torch. I mean, basically, we went from Hogan to Austin and The Rock.
Yeah.
Okay, Triple H to John Cena. You'll see Seth Rollins and I think Roman Reigns to be the head of the class if Roman Reigns gets better in the ring.
Yes.
And they do the right thing with creative on him.
I mean, we're in that transitional period right now. So we just got to wait. We just have to, I'm telling you, I think it just takes time.
Guys like Cedric Alexander will be one of the best in the world, which he's pretty good now.
Yeah.
But, Cedric Alexander, I think these cruiserweights are going to be a lot. I think the cruiserweight championship will be a little bit meaningful now more than it was. I want to talk how wrestling may change. Impact Wrestling, let me go into it now, is doing a grand champion. Okay? I don't know if you've seen it. I think I talked to you about it. But they're doing 3-minute rounds and 3 rounds at 3 minutes. Okay? And you can win by pinfall, submission, or by points. If it goes to all 3 rounds, then it goes to points. Do we think any of the titles will be obsolete in 10 years? I think the Universal title, maybe. I think it might be one of them titles that goes away and keep just the WWA. I mean, that's the only one I can think of. The Cruiserweight ain't going nowhere for a while. I think in maybe 10 years, they'll combine everybody together again. Because they do that all the time.
Yeah.
They after the draft, they get, it doesn't work out, so to try to make it fresh again. So they put everything together. So maybe the Universal title.
But I don't want to see that for a long time, in my opinion, because it's just what they're doing right now is fresh and it's good. But you got to keep it that way, because if you go ahead like in a year and we see SmackDown and Raw back together, I'm going to be mad, because then it's like you did nothing.
Will Aaron Rex be back?
Yeah. Will Aaron Rex be a champion in 10 years?
He might be a grand champion in TNA, but my point is with the grand champion, does that style, is it going to work in wrestling?
No.
I think it's different. It may work. I can't see WWE.
They're trying to become MMA and UFC too much. I don't like that. It's like the fall.
It's basically shorter match. No, it's not like it's
is.
not like Brawl for All. It's different because in Brawl for All you could not wrestle. You had to box.
No, but I'm saying
you can wrestle, and it's basically 9-minute matches at the most.
No, but what I'm saying is that it's them trying to put a different spin on things, and that's what it's something we've seen before. Now we haven't seen.
No, we've not seen.
No,
this
we
before.
haven't seen the 3 minutes with wrestling. No,
not
but
in wrestling we've not.
I don't want to see it. Is what I'm saying. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a flash in the pan idea. I think it's a flash in the pan idea that won't work.
I think it might work. I mean, and I think here's why I think it might work is because you'll get a lot of the UFC fans to pay attention to it. Now, people are still, the problem with wrestling doing it, people are going to say it's fake. And that's where people are going to lose interest because you're not. Now, are you going to stop booking matches that way and letting them actually go out and ever who wins wins?
No.
I don't know if they'll do that. But
I don't think you can.
Because no offense, Aaron Rex shouldn't be the grand champion. And I'm the guy's, I'm a big fan.
You're the advocate of Aaron Rex.
I am the advocate for Aaron Rex.
You are the advocate for Aaron Rex.
James Jobber is the advocate for
Jobber
Rex.
James.
Yeah, Jobber James. The next question we had, will Kofi Kingston always be a mid-card, or will he ever be a champion? World champion.
But I like where he is right now. I think keep him as a tag team guy. Keep him as a mid-card guy. Why not? He doesn't need to be champion anymore. He is in the boat with John Cena, Randy Orton, and all them that don't need to be champions. Kofi Kingston can be...
Big E step up.
No, I don't. They tried it. He failed.
No, they didn't try world champion.
No, but they tried to push him as a singles, and it didn't work. He works better in tag team. I just think you got to keep these guys as what they are. You got to keep them. You got to keep them together. I think it helps.
I agree.
And don't ask me anything about Xavier Woods, because Besides being a good talker, I don't see him going anywhere.
What? Hold on. What I was gonna say, as far as going back to the Kofi Kingston thing, he's found his home, his niche. All right. He is not a world champion guy. He's not a. I don't think he's a U.S. IC champion because he's hit his ceiling with that already. I don't think he goes anywhere else because they had a chance with him with the Randy Orton thing, and whatever happened, he'll never be a world champion caliber guy again. He's a tag team. He's a great tag team wrestler guy. He's a good spot guy, but that's it.
Yeah. And that's okay. I think he should stay where he is.
Who do you see retiring next?
Oof.
Undertaker?
No.
He's not retired yet.
Not Chris Jericho.
Jericho just reinvented himself
again.
John Bon Jericho. I mean, he's good. Retiring next. I mean, Undertaker.
Big Show.
Big Show is definitely Mark Henry. But I'm going to go with Undertaker because he's not retired yet. Officially.
I see him give like 2 more years just because he's like 1 more match.
Who? Undertaker?
Yeah.
Kane? Yeah, Kane's another one.
Kane is one I feel like deserves to be retired.
Kane.
You're not going to do anything with the guy.
Kane, Big Show. No, they just used them at a pay-per-view.
No, but I don't want to see it.
Kane, Big Show, Mark Henry, and Undertaker. Those 4 should go ahead and retire.
Here's a question for you.
What?
When do you think John Cena retires?
5 years. 45.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, JoJo's back. Ask that question again.
When do you think John Cena retires?
5 years.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to get JoJo and Mr. Candlelight to answer.
I say 2. Okay.
You say 2 years? I'm going to say 5, and here's why. Because he's going to be part-time, I think, for the next 5 years.
Okay. When does Triple H step away from being on air? When does he step away for good?
Mr. Candlelight says when he beats Flair's title wins. You see, I don't think he will. I think he'll leave it tied, if anything.
Sting already beat him, apparently, because he said he beat him.
Well, never. Going back to, what was your question?
Triple H, when does he step down from being on-air
Never.
talent?
He's going to be like him. When are we going to learn? Him and Stephanie are going to be like Vince.
They are Vince.
They are Vince. They're going to be there as long as they need.
That's
them.
fine.
You, in wrestling, if you not want to learn one thing in wrestling, you need to have that authority figure. All right? You got to have that authority figure. So you can hire a GM this week, Mick Foley, okay? You can take Stephanie off air for 6 months. She's coming back at some point.
Yeah.
Same thing with Triple H. Shane McMahon, kind of the same boat. He's going to come back just because of who he is.
All right. Next one's a serious question.
What?
When does the next episode of Holy Foley come out? No. Anyways.
I thought it was going to be Camp WWE.
Yeah. When, actually, do you think Daniel Bryan's going to get back in the ring?
No.
Because I've been hearing nothing but rumors about it. I don't want him to. I don't want him to do anything.
Here's why I don't think he will is because his neck is so bad. And Brie Bella, okay, is trying to have a baby. I don't see him trying to get back in the ring.
Who replaces Daniel Bryan
JoJo says
as GM?
What, if he gets fired?
If
he leaves?
Yeah.
Why don't you say that for a what if?
Yeah. But I wouldn't say that as a what if, though.
Okay.
Because
No, that's fine. If Daniel Bryan leaves, you need to get somebody fresh. I mean, you need to get somebody that's never been a GM before. Don't go get Teddy Long or Vicky or Johnny Laurinaitis.
Come on, player.
No, you need to have some fresh. You need to have some managers in the business.
That's why I don't know why they don't
You
have
need to have a manager that can do that because sometimes they can be the control of a show. Even though we know Triple H and Stephanie runs the show.
David Arquette, new GM.
Hall of Fame, David Arquette.
David Arquette would be kind of cool.
But no,
Yeah.
you need. I still like DDP as somebody that you could put on air because he's good on the mic. You got to have somebody that's good on the mic. Somebody now that could do it. Paul Ellering is running. He's managing the Authors of Pain.
See, I think you need to bring
DDP,
back DDP, Paul Ellering.
I think of Michael P.S. Hayes.
And freaking the Enforcer.
Nash, there you go, Kevin Nash. Scott Hall. Scott Hall has said he wants to be a coach in this business. If you didn't watch the JBL Hall and Nash interview, do it because it was great.
You know he would be a great manager?
Who?
Scott Hall. Have him as a manager.
Both of them would be. Kevin Nash and Scott
Ric
Hall.
Flair. Bring back Ric Flair as a manager. No, I am sorry. He would work as a manager.
He actually has stopped drinking again. Scott Hall.
No, he is. He's actually been sober for 2 years now. He got clean. He's been clean for a whole year. And then they said, because they want to bring him back, but they said you've only been clean for a little bit. So I don't know about that. I would like to see some managers in the business. Like, why don't you do what they did in the 80s, like with Glassy and freaking what's his name? Not who's with Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, you're talking Captain Lou.
Captain Lou, freaking Bobby the Brain. All these people that were technically wrestlers back in the day. Mr. Fuji, and then what did they become later? Managers. Why can't you do that? Why can't you bring back? Could you see Christian as a manager? I could see Christian as a manager. Just see these people.
You had to bring his name up.
Yes, I did. But I'm just saying, see some of these guys.
I didn't bring his name up, Mr. Ken.
But just see some of these guys as a manager. All right? I don't know why they don't want to do that. Bring back Jimmy Hart as a manager. Why not? You already got him as a Legends contract. Bring him back. Yeah, Christian a manager if you want them to have one more match and flop. Oh. He didn't flop.
Are you ready for the top 5?
He flip-flopped. Anyway.
You ready for the top 5?
Nope.
No?
All right, what is it?
All right, let's go into this week's Sound Off.
WWA SoundOff, where your voice can be heard.
Sound off, let 'em know how you feel. If the anger inside is real, sound off.
All right, this week's top 5, our Sound Off segment, is top 5 $1 Million Man moments of all time. Do you want me to you want to share with me?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So if you got any $1 Million Man moments, let me know. I want to talk about Ted DiBiase because on our Facebook page,
When Ted got ready to kiss his boot for money.
RVD, I want to go back when he on our Facebook page, on Wrestling Attitude Facebook page, there's an article about being the wrestler. Now he's a preacher. I have not met him before, but I've heard great things about him now. Now, back in the day, that's a different story. Do you have any on this list?
I have a few. I think when he was the manager of Stone Cold, when he came out and did all that with Stone Cold and gave him the $1 Million Dream, passed it on as his finisher. So I'll put that one on there.
Okay. I'm gonna go to number 5 for me when he debuted the Undertaker. Actually, take it back. Bro Love debuted the Undertaker when he got slapped by his son. Okay.
Oh, that one was good.
When he debuted the Undertaker, well, actually, when he started managing the Undertaker after that at Survivor Series, I'll never forget that the first Survivor Series that he was at. That's my number 5. What about the next one for you?
Have to say when he was like the what was he? The manager of the NWO. He just showed up one day and worked and was their manager.
Okay. For me, I said number 5 already. Number 4 would be when he. Won't save those two. I'm gonna say him versus Macho Man Randy Savage at WrestleMania 4. That's one of the best moments.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What you got next?
I'll have to put that one on there. That'll be my number 3.
That's your number 3.
Yeah.
So you got number 2. No. All right.
I mean,
Let me go to my number 3 then. My number 3 would be. I'm trying to remember the exact one. We got the vignette Saturday Night Main Event. Number 3, WrestleMania 6 versus Dusty Rhodes in that match. The whole thing they had, Dusty Rhodes versus $1 Million Man, the American Dream against $1 Million Man. Those vignettes, the storyline going into WrestleMania, the polka dots, all of that was great. So I'm gonna say WrestleMania 6.
Okay.
WrestleMania 6 build up.
What about when he debuted the belt?
The $1 Million Championship?
Yeah.
Right.
That just, I mean, come on, man. You have all the money in the world. You know what? I have my own belt. Screw your belt. I'm going to have my own belt. That was just the best.
Are we going to dress up for Halloween? JoJo asked.
Yes. I'm actually dressing up as a German.
As a German?
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
I don't know. I honestly don't know this year. I don't know.
You're doing it.
I'm doing what?
You're doing it.
Racist. He must kind of like how you're racist. You're a racist German. That's what he's going to be.
It's okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm going to try. I might get a mask or something. I might wear my Lucha Libre.
Don't
you
be
know
that
what I'm
guy.
going to do? I'm going to wear the Lucha Libre mask the
It's
night.
never been washed.
Yes. It has been washed now. Thank you. After you wore it, I washed it. Anything with hair. Yeah. Number 2. Number 2 for me. Yes. Anything with hair.
That's good.
That's the reason I'm wearing a mask. You can't see my hair. $1 Million Man first vignette. All right. Let me tell you. The first time I saw this video, $1 Million Man, I thought it was the best thing I've ever seen. I'm going to say the blue meaning. JoJo. But I'm going to say the vignette. The very first vignette they did was great. It's like the Miami Vice kind of thing. What you got number 1? If not, I've got one.
I mean,
You ready for me?
I want to say when he did the thing with
I could be the Repo Man.
Oh God,
I might.
Dude, you should be the Repo
I
Man.
should.
That'd be hilarious.
I should.
I say his run with the $1 Million Corporation.
Okay.
I mean, it was just a good faction at the time. Hiring Andre and then having IRS come in, and it was just good. I liked it.
I'm going to say my number 1, the one the biggest memory is the when,
Steven can be Husky Airs. I might do that.
When he screwed over Hulk Hogan with the fake referee, with the second Hebner brother, that was great. That led up to WrestleMania 4, but that was great. That's where money could buy anything. You know, and always when he would go on Saturday morning wrestling, when he would be interviewed, you know, at noon, and he would be up on the stand, right? And Mean Gene would interview him, and it's like money can buy anything. And you remember he used to have people come up, kiss his feet, and everything else. But I would say the one Saturday night's main event is the biggest one.
So I'm looking up these things, 11 reasons why the $1 Million Man is amazing. And there's one that says he rented out a public swimming pool. Do you remember that? When he rented out a public swimming pools for his vignette so he could be...
Yeah, I do. That's what I was saying. The first vignette, that's what he did. All right.
Ugh.
You got anything else for top 5?
I mean, I got to give him credit, again, for that belt, man. Just for creating a belt of your own is a big deal. Especially in wrestling nowadays. Because, I mean, think about it. John Cena did it. A few other people did it. But he created his own belt that has no meaning. Like, no one else. He is one of the only people that ever held that belt. A few others did. But that is his belt. That is the $1 million belt. No one else can say they had a belt named after them. So, I have to give him credit on that. I just think that he's, I mean, from going from being a performer to a minister, it astounds me of just how much success he's had over his years. You know? And I'm glad he's in the Hall of Fame. I really
Absolutely. No, he deserves it.
Yeah.
He deserves it. All right. Well, there you go. There's our sound off segment. We got one more segment coming up. We're going to do a review of wrestling this week, SmackDown, Raw, NXT, Impact, and we're going to go into we'll make picks for this weekend's Clash of Champions. You're listening to Wrestling with Attitude.